Those forthcoming title update releases are going to be completely altering the landscape of the game. So this video is probably going to be looking pretty different in the future. Welcome to Still Plays. This is a roster video, and our general structure here is we are looking at those marquees and those unlocks, but marquees are going to be handled differently in the future. That section of this video might be looking a little bit different. Our major project progress, we're working towards big releases differently, so maybe this will have to be altered and reshaped. Omicrons and Datacrons, this is going to be the same. We're still going to be working in this zone, and then addressing any other weaknesses within the roster, which is actually probably going to be a larger and larger portion of this video, as CG has made so many aspects of gearing and relicking far easier. We begin with the status of the Hoard, and this is probably going to be the last time we do this, because with those title update changes, this portion of the video is just not going to be necessary moving forward, because with this title update, we're seeing changes to like Mark 1 and Mark 2 raid currency, which is going to make relicking, at least the low level relics, super easy. It's going to become trivial. All this old gear is not going to be all that important to track. It's just going to become faster and faster to relic characters. Legacy content, as they call it, is going to be shifting down in value, and we're just going to be moving towards this endgame stuff. And I understand why CG has done it, is they want players to engage with the endgame. They want new players to potentially come in and be able to feel like they can rapidly catch up. And in a sense, that is good and healthy. But in doing so, they have made the game easier. They've created fewer things that somebody like me can engage in and try and figure out and obsess over. Because like, I do this for fun. This isn't necessary. I just like doing it. This is something that I do. I just plug in a few minutes every time after I do a roster video and just kind of see what's going on. And increasingly, there's just fewer and fewer ways to engage in the game, and I think that's dangerous to the health. And it's like one of the things that was most fun about early days of Grand Arena was all of our rosters were wildly different. And now, because of like minimum requirements, because of the slow rate of higher levels of gear and relics, we all have increasingly the same rosters. The differentiation just doesn't exist. And I don't think that's healthy. Like, I wish they would just release several levels of progression at once. Like when they introduced relics, we had 7 relic levels all at the same time. That was good. That meant that people could just arbitrarily decide this character I'm going to take to Relic 7, and that is how I'm going to just have a strong, powerful Relic 7 character that nobody else does. That's good. But when they limit things, they shrink the game, it just means that we all have the same stuff, and we're all facing the same counters, the same teams on defenses, and everything just becomes the same. I want more things to be weird, like make Swugga just weird. And with our probable last look at this Hoard spreadsheet, you can see we have Carbonite circuit boards and Bronziums there in deficit, but not in terrible deficits. I've got massive surpluses on basically everything. When we're looking at Pirate Hondo, I'm just waiting on shards. I could do Pirate Hondo right away if needed. Then some of the recent Journey Guide Conquest characters, some of the recent Marquees like Forlom and Zuckuss, that's within this column. We're working on those requirements. Also, like the Stranger's gear is here. Probably the only gear in this range is like the Marquees and the Stranger. And then here, just other Journey Guide characters that are lower in priorities, and then some luxury relics. But we're really just working on med packs and Nubian scanners. Nothing really in a problematic range. This is all manageable. Moving forward with the changes to era battles, it's not clear how that's going to be monetized, but it's definitely going to be somehow. But for the moment, these 5-card pulls have been worth it during the era battles, especially as crystals allow. And after 9 years, we finally got some good luck. We got a 145 pull. That's allowed me to reach 7 stars during this marquee event. So we took him up to the 6 stars. We converted these crystals, and if you saw the kit reveal video for him that I did, I thought he was going to make a great squad. He's going to be a really annoying tank, very strong defensive and offensive mechanics that I wanted to take advantage of, and I wanted to test immediately in the Grand Arena that he was new to. So I brought him up to Relics, put on all those zetas and resources, and that's what we're looking at here. And that also is going to include the squad. Now, that first week of testing was pretty mixed because I did not grab the 5-card pull on Forlam, so I didn't have a very strong surrounding characters for him, and we could only bring him up to Relic 4 for this first week because we're limited without having a 7-star character. But he is a character that I am interested in bringing up to Relic 9 pretty soon. I'm gonna have to think maybe a moment for exactly how fast I go about it, but I think he's going to be very important to this next phase of the game. Just a very excellent character. Really happy that Forlam and Zuckuss are added to the game in a way that's very relevant, especially for how long we've been waiting for them. For the rest of the squad, there are a number of characters that we need to do a little bit of work on to get some usage out of them. We have Grief Karga is somebody I was speculating is possibly being useful for the squad, even though there are conditions that make not using light side bounty hunters fully functional, but I don't think enough is lost to eliminate him as a consideration. We throw on the Zetas on Aura Singh, and today I need to access the final tier of that event. I got to do my promotion to 7 stars. It really does feel nice being done with the Marquee this quickly. It's incredible. But I am curious what is going to be happening to the monetization of this new event. But I'm going to bring him up to, what do I feel comfortable doing right now? I think we'll do Relic 7 right now. For a tank, I think 7 is, you could almost do automatically if signal data wasn't as much of an issue, but he is someone that I'm going to have no problem taking to high relics, and eventually to Relic 9, definitely. And then I got to just see what's going on with this next phase of the game before we do too much. But for week 2 of Grand Arena, that gives me a little bit more to work with, but Forlam I do want to bring to 4 stars sooner than later so that I can add relics to him and a little bit of survivability, since that is going to depress their performance for the time being. Before the start of Grand Arena, I did do an air battle and got some Forlam shards, enough where I was now within a pack's range of having being able to take him up to 4 stars and add relics, because with that Zuckuss, now I want to pair Forlam, get a little bit better testing. So we're taking Forlam up to relics, bring them up to Relic 2, and just do even more testing during this week of Grand Arena. But most of the rest of this video, I'm recording this portion now after the start of Grand Arena, after the first match, so everything else you're seeing within this battle is not going to be within week 2 of Grand Arena. Forlam and Zuckuss completes our most recent marquees and unlocks, but we have also had the pirate releases and working towards pirate Hondo, and there we have a lot of progress to account for. Vayne, we are done. We're taking Vayne up to Relic 7. We have an era battle right now that I want to be able to take advantage of. And we will bring him up to his Relic. Well, I don't know if we're going to go to Relic 7. No, maybe we will, because there are tiers of that event that are related. We'll save Relic levels on a couple other characters because we're still farming. So I would like to save a little bit of signal data where I can for the moment, because that title update's not released yet, and things aren't completely easier yet. So Vayne goes to R7. Okay, and now we are looking at Quaigold, who only goes to 5, right? Let's promote Quaigold. But this is knocking off several characters. God, I wanted Silvo to be released today. My Silvo is a pretty good spot, because I used crystals on Silvo, because I knew otherwise he'd be the pain point. Okay, Ethano's done. Silvo we're waiting on. We can't take him further. Brutus we're still farming up, so I can't take Brutus further. We're looking at Kix. Kix we can promote, and Kix goes to R6. And we will take Kix up. I guess R6 doesn't really matter, because if we're not going to R7, whatever, we're just going to do it. Because if we're not going to R7, we're not going to be able to use them in the higher tiers of the era battle, because there's an R5 tier and R7 tier, and Brutus is the other pirate character who goes to R7, but we can't do him right now. I can't do Kenobi right now. You know what? Let's just knock things off. So that's Bosk is done. And then Vet Chewy is another one we can take up. Yeah, just add a couple relic levels here. It's nice that we semi-recently did Ray. See, I've made some progress on Vet Chewy that I didn't have before. Nice, another one of these down. And that leaves me Kenobi, Silvo, and Brutus. And Kenobi we can't do right now because I don't have the keypads enough. I'm like too short. But now we're in this position of what do I care to work on? I can't do too much because signal data is still an issue for the moment. I'm not in a surplus mode or even in a range where I feel like I can do much. But there are certain characters that I would like to push. Like I would love a stronger Maz Kanata. She's been fantastic. Zuckuss I already went off the reservation and pushed pretty far because we got lucky on those drops. And then some like Scorch. What's this other Ami? I think we can just start looking at Amis. I always mean to keep paying attention to if I even feel like this is going to matter in matches, but I guess I'm putting them on defense, so it doesn't. I think I can hold off on that one. I'm just not impressed with it. What I would like to do is take these tanks higher, but we're not going to do that today. Let's just go to Datacrons. Datacrons, I'm just going to show you my collection. Oh, you know what? I've got this now. I was going to skip this one altogether, but because I have Zuckuss, I got way more of whatever that resource is called for the eras. I don't even know what that junk is called. It allowed me to have more of that currency so I could grab stuff, which I wasn't expecting. And now I just grab stuff that I wasn't intending to because I'm a little flush in resources for the moment, or the episode currency. I'm starting to get tired, I can tell. Do I have anything here? We can take this up. I'm done with these Datacrons. I have all the ones I really want. I want to grab a couple other first order ones. Like we can re-roll this. I kind of want that Kylo one or the crew one. Yeah, we'll grab this. But I have everything that's important. Like I have all the key ones. Like looking at the squads here, like we have Special Forces, SLKR, Hux, we've got Kylo now. It's only crew and First Order Stormtrooper. Oh, and I guess Fox. We don't have those three of that set. With the Pirates, I've got Hondo, Qui-Gold, Sana, and Silva. So Nest I would like to still... No, I have Nest too. So I have all this row. Brutus... I might have Brutus too. I might be completely done with the Pirates. And then with the Unlined Force users, I have Rey, Luke, Fulcrum, Swallow, and Sir-Junda. Visas is useless, so I don't have that one. So I'm gonna keep developing Crons so that when they expire, it just pays forward to the next set. But I had just a lot of good fortune. I've got everything. And I still have a ton of banked resources where as long as I get the currency, I'm going to keep purchasing the credits. I'm going to be able to keep developing out the set for the coming days. And really now we reach the question of the luxuries. Are there things that I want to develop and work on so that we can start working ahead? The only question is, I'm not good on med packs and Nubian scanners, so I don't really want to take anybody else up to relics. But there are certain characters that we can look at. Like, I'm not worried about hypo syringes. It's med packs. Like, because I could use him for Iden. So Shore Trooper, he's going to take stuff away from characters I want. So that's not really an option right now. Bodhi with the Rogue One I could be looking at, but definitely not dropping a bunch of med packs. And then Pow, same deal. More med packs. Maybe I'm going to start dropping some of these other pieces of gear and just start reducing. Oh, and what territory battles are going on right now? I wouldn't mind doing a territory battle character and just getting access to some new tiers of events, which really these are the prime candidates. Maybe I do want to... I've always wanted to do Tarfold Relics. And even though this is pulling a bunch of med packs, man. The thing is, though, I have time. The only question is, would one of these territory battle characters be more useful than another? Like, we've already passed the young Han, the young Han node. I guess, I wonder Saw, maybe. Is Saw the only requirement on that node? Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm going to do some territory battle stuff today. Definitely. So, Tarful, I'm going to do... I'm going to do it for fun. And there's reasons to do Tarful with some of these new character releases. And he's just a character I've been wanting forever. I'm not going to take him up high in... I'm not doing Darfel. The more that I think about it, the more that it just doesn't make sense. What we're going to do is Chrysanthemum to Relic 8, because it's going to help me in more tiers of territory battle. Because right now, I don't have a full Jabba squad for some of those later tiers. So that is a positive contribution. And then the other one I'm definitely going to do is Saw Gerrera, who is, where are you? Let's just go to the front. With our rebel, he's already at 7. What's stopping me on 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, I just don't have enough. I need another rebel fighter at 7. That's the issue. Well, who wants to be the winner? Is it going to be Luthen? It's really just could be Luthen or Katarn, because Katarn's at least a Jedi. He's doubling up on other things, which has its own utility. Luthen, I really don't think adding a couple relic levels is going to do much for me. What does this do again? That really doesn't feel like it's worth an Ami. It just helps on the margins. Luthen, do I want? Because you can't target him. So bringing up to Relic 7 really just doesn't seem like there's much point. I'm going to do Katarn. And then that'll be able to... This is today's node too, so there is reason to do this. See how it goes. Maybe it ought to have been Luthen. And then the other one that I'm thinking about is Moff Gideon. But he would need to be Relic 8. But he would get me access to higher tiers of stuff. It's not like I'd win the node, though. I'd still need at least another remnant, and I don't really feel inclined to do that right now. You know, I'm not really feeling too inclined to do a lot of these things, but what I've seen is Kira. I'm not taking her up to the relics I need to access the tier, but I can start working on her a little bit. She does take the Nubian scanners, but it's only 2. It's not a problem. So I'm going to take her to relics. We're just going to start knocking. I would like to take 1 or 2 of these characters up to relics a week, just so that we can achieve the goal of just having everybody at relics this year, which should be very doable with changes that are coming. Let's just do relic 3. There's really no reason to have anybody below relic 3. Okay, so that gets her a start at least. Then we can look at some of these other ones. Young Han's probably the next one that we'll do. Yeah, I think... What about Zelbar? Zelbar is somebody who probably should be at relics, but he's... Okay, so he's a med pack. Nubian scanner. I'm going to take Zelbar up. You know what? Maybe I should have done that. I mean, because this is for 3v3. Like, I still should do it, but I could have waited. All right, we're going to call it. This is something that I was doing a lot during the 3v3 season, but it was risky without relics on Zelbar. It was still mostly working, but it may have... Did it? I don't think it ever failed, but it did get scary. All right, we are in a good spot. We'll see what those changes bring. And then it's just going to be pushing more and more relics on all these other characters. Because Pirate Hondo, it's just shards. Like, we're like a month from Hondo. Maybe if I get lucky on these era battles, speed up it a little bit. But thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.